Most of us are realistic about our financial situation and know that we will never be as wealthy as famous celebrities and sports players. But have you ever stopped to consider how it stacks up in comparison to that of your contemporaries? If you are also thinking the same and are around the age of 20, then stick right to the video to know about the average net worth of Americans aged under 20. Also, before moving forward, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you won't miss any future videos we upload. Many of us have a good idea of how much cash we have stashed away in our savings accounts, as well as how much we owe on our respective credit card balances. The question is, how many of us have truly made the effort to assess what our net worth is? If you are not aware of the concept of net worth, then here is some quick info. Net worth is all about assets minus debts. You can determine the total value of all of your assets, including those in savings and retirement accounts as well as the equity in your home. Subtract all of your obligations, such as the balance on your house, your credit card debt, and your student loan balance. What's left over might give you an idea of how much money you've managed to save up or how much debt you've racked up. This is the total value of your assets. According to the Federal Reserve's most recent study of consumer finances, a triennial survey, the total average net worth of American households increased by 26% in the last 3 years. According to the data provided by the Federal Reserve, the typical American has a net worth of $692,100. However, one single statistic does not convey the full picture. As can be anticipated, younger individuals have less money saved than older individuals who have been in labor for a longer period of time and hence have accumulated more earnings. Now that you know about net worth, let's talk about the average net worth of Americans aged 20. According to statistics, the average net worth of an American aged 20 is around $56,000. However, the median net worth of American aged 20 is around $13,900. The median net worth tells a very different narrative than the average net worth when it comes to young people who have recently graduated from college and are beginning their professions. The average net worth gives the impression that things are going very well for these individuals. The median provides a more realistic representation of the manner in which wealth is dispersed throughout the population. When a list of numbers is listed from lowest to highest, the number in the center is called the median. Therefore, the median net worth of people in their 20s is less than $13,900, and the other half have accumulated more assets than that. There are a lot of people in their 20s who are still paying off college debts, and their starting earnings will probably not allow them to put away a significant amount of money. In spite of this, it is essential to put something aside, preferably 10% or more of one's income, in order to save for future requirements, such as an emergency fund, a down payment for a house, and retirement. The earlier you start saving for retirement, the longer the power of compound interest will operate in your favor, allowing your net worth to rise over the course of time. This is true even if retirement seems like light years away. Why are these two numbers so significant? When you have a scenario in which the median is significantly lower than the average, it indicates that it is possible that a few outliers are driving the average upward. This is the case in the American economy, in which the median is substantially lower than the average. Therefore, in this particular instance, it is quite probable that some individuals in their 20s who were assessed by personal capital happen to have a high net worth. The median net worth, on the other hand, is perhaps a better indicator of how people in their 20s are performing in terms of building assets. Net worth is important because it helps to check your financial pulse and identify strengths and weaknesses. Nevertheless, there are some flaws in it. It is not necessary for an individual to enjoy a good standard of life just because they have a sizable net worth. For instance, the value of a person's property may increase, but it doesn't mean they won't be short on cash if they don't have any savings and don't have any plans to sell their house. The desire to improve one's own financial situation might be inspired by an interest in the wealth of others. Additionally, it has the potential to cause us to feel needlessly inferior. In addition, there is a strong correlation between the place of residence and the overall net worth of Americans under age 20. Despite the fact that the typical American living in a city has a higher net worth than people living in rural regions, the cost of living in cities in the United States tends to be higher than the cost of living in locations outside of cities. According to the data, the average American living in a city has a net worth that is around 2.7 times more than the net worth of the average American living in a rural location. There is a possibility that the greater net worth of urban America is caused, in part, by the higher real estate values in cities. The loss of high-paying employment opportunities in rural America and their migration to large cities both contribute to this uneven distribution of wealth. Job opportunities and income also play a role in this unjust wealth distribution. According to the findings of the study conducted by the Federal Reserve, family incomes in urban regions increased by an average of 11% between the years 2016 and 2021. However, the earnings of Americans living outside of metropolitan areas did not rise on average during this same time period. As a result, Americans in their 20s in these areas have a much lower net worth than Americans of the same age in metropolitan areas. Lastly, the average net worth of Americans reveals the existence of the racial wealth divide. According to the most recent data available for 2022, the typical Black family continues to have a net worth that is much lower than that of the typical white family. To sum up the whole discussion, if you happen to be a U.S. citizen and are in your 20s, then the most effective strategy for amassing a fortune is to take a long-term approach. Make a decision right now about what you want to achieve, and then start taking even smaller actions toward that direction right away. To help you get started, preparing for retirement as soon as possible is one of the most significant things you can do to develop your net worth. Regardless of whether you do it through your workplace's 401k or have your own solo 401k if you're self-employed. Next, begin investing right now, because investing for the long term is yet another strategy that can be utilized to increase one's net worth. Finally, be as thrifty as possible with your money. The acquisition of substantial assets, such as real estate, that contribute to the growth of one's net worth typically requires an initial investment of monetary savings. Having the appropriate savings account is essential, whether your goal is to put money away for a down payment on a house or to build up a reserve for unexpected expenses. That's all for today's video. What is your average net worth? Tell us in the comment section below. Also, if you have any questions regarding the video, then feel free to leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Until then, cheers.